Hello everyone, I'm the Maximum Guitarist, and this is Let's Play Saga. Last time we completed Dove All Zones mode, I believe, and that was certainly a boatload of fun. And now, I have decided to move on to probably the hardest character in the game, besides Coda, which I'm not even going to talk about Coda yet. You may be wondering, Max, you haven't uploaded in like 2 weeks almost. Why? Well, that's because I decided to pick one of the hardest characters in the game, like a Dumbo, instead of just picking one of the easier characters. And I didn't want to switch to an easier character because I had already been practicing this character. And this character is Monk. So Monk has taken the vow of poverty, and therefore he can't touch gold. You may ask yourself, what happens if you touch gold? Well, you die immediately, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you have a potion, doesn't matter if you have good armor, nothing. Touch gold, instantly die. And I struggled with this for so long, but I took a break for a while. I took a break for like a day, 2 days, and this was actually my first run of the session. So normally during a session I'll have like 4 or 5 runs. This was my first run back after playing, or not playing for a couple days, and I did it on my first try. So really the strategies with Monk. So you can see you start off with a blood shovel, which you take damage if you dig anything that is higher than dirt. So like if I dig that stone there, or if I dig brick, I will take damage. So the most important thing with Monk is to get rid of your shovel as quickly as possible. And right there you can see in this shop I got a titanium shovel. So the way shops work is similar to Dove, except you get to pick 3 items. You get to choose 1 item for free, and then the other 2 disappear. And I've got an obsidian dagger, and the circlet of telepathy so I can see all the enemies, and I'm doing 3 damage as long as I keep my multiplier. So really the best thing to do is same as the other characters, is find the shop, and then find the boss room and take him out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just don't touch gold. A really helpful strategy that I found out during, so what I do here, I just want to talk about this. I take the blood spear, because it'll give me extra health, but then I pick up the dagger, because it's doing more damage, so I can take out all the bosses real quick, because the blood weapons only do 1 damage, and since I'm doing 3 damage, I just use that, take them all out. Then I grab the spear, so now I have 2 range, and I can heal myself. So my good strategy was that if you find a secret room, which you can see, like, a way to tell if you have a secret room is if you can see the inside of a wall. So if you see like the inside of a wall, maybe I'll find a secret room and I'll be able to point it out more clearly. If you see a secret room, make sure you dig one of the corners of the room because there might be enemies inside and you don't want to set those free, and if you dig a corner, you'll be able to see if there's any enemies. So basically, another good strategy is making sure you funnel your enemies, making sure that you can always get around your goal. That's one of the main strategies that you should always do, is make sure that there's always a path of escape. Make sure that you always have the ability to move back to the room that you previously were in, because if you end up getting trapped by gold, then you're just done. You need to make sure you always have an escape route. And here, I already found the exit, and I'm just like, okay, let me get out of here before these enemies come after me. And there we are on our first boss, King Konga. And I don't remember what I did for my strategy here. I'm pretty sure I just killed the conga lion so that I could get health, because now that I have those extra hearts, I need to heal myself so I can get those hearts back. So I just killed the conga lion so I can get health. I think it brings me up half a heart. Then I just jump back and forth until King Konga comes after me and take him out. And then just gotta make sure that there's no gold sitting around. Gotta be careful, can't take that gold reward. But I did get a flawless victory, so I can take an item, and I pick that, the spell chest, and I end up getting a bomb spell. Bombs are very important as Monk. You should almost always, as if you could see where I'm pointing, but I just walked by, I picked up a pickaxe, but that right there is a secret room, and you can see the inside of the walls versus like those blocks that I'm next to, you can't actually see the other side of them, so that's how you can tell if there's a secret room. Anyways, the reason I just picked up a pickaxe is because now I can dig brick. Because with a titanium thing, you can only dig stone, but now I can dig brick with a pickaxe. Now I was saying something about the strategy with bombs, right? So bombs, it's very important to always have one bomb on you because bombs can blow up gold. So if you are in a situation where there's nowhere you can go, you gotta use a bomb to blow up that gold. And here I use that bomb pad to blow up that. I'm gonna grab some cheese. And I just keep navigating my way through here. Just looking for the boss room. And I just gotta kind of guess as to where the boss room is. Generally, like while I was playing as Monk, I sort of figured out the map layouts as they always follow a certain pattern. Like generally and this goes for pretty much every zone until you get to around zone 3. Like zone 2 and zone 1 are very similar. But generally there'll be 2 directions, or 3 directions I should say, that you can go right off the bat from the starting room. And most of the time what'll happen is one of them will be a dead end, one of them will lead to the shop at the very end, and one of them will lead to the boss room. So if you find like a shop or a dead end, that means that one or the other is the other thing. Zone 2, really the only difference here, the difference for map layouts is that the hallways are a little bit more wide, but besides that, like you still have your 3 paths and they generally still lead in the same direction. So that's a little sketchy right there. You can see that mage can pull you onto gold, because I had to back up there because he would have pulled me onto gold. And if they pull you onto gold, you're done. It's like game over. So you gotta make sure that when you attack them, they are not standing in front of gold. If they're standing on gold, that's fine. Like, I just waited for the wind mage that I just killed to stand on gold, and I was fine. Just make sure it's not in front of them, or else they will pull you onto it and you will die. Also, it's very important to be careful if you're killing an enemy that has a wind mage directly behind it, because they'll drop the gold, and if the wind mage is within range, then he'll pull you onto it right when you kill the guy that he's standing behind. And here we have Mr. Dragon. Now I'm only doing 1 damage, so gotta take him out with the double hit right at the end. And now I know, since the dragon came from that way, that is where the exit is. So that means here is where the shop is. Now I had to place 2 bombs there because he drops gold, or his brick walls drop gold, and obviously one can't step on those. So I think about it for a second, but I take the titanium bow because I need more damage. That's very important. And right there you can see that I just jumped in the hole because I didn't want to risk going after the exit. And since I don't have any obsidian items and I don't need to worry about gold, my multiplier as Monk does not matter. But I had to think about, like, do I want more damage and more range, or do I want to keep healing myself? And I figured since I've already got full health, I'm doing fine. I don't need to worry about healing myself anymore. So I took the titanium bow. That's very important to get range, very important. So here, I think I take the heavy plate armor, because obviously better defense is always good. It means you can survive through more hits. And that's something that once you've got a lot of health, it's really good to be sort of tanky and just take a bunch of hits, because you really don't have to worry about dying. Really the only thing that you have to worry about is gold. Take that out. I'm going up here, and I can see that there's a potion thing in there, but sometimes if you get really unlucky, inside of the potion rooms, tons of enemies will spawn, and since I was already doing pretty good, I was like, I'm not going to risk it. I think about it for a while, but I ended up not going in the potion room. And all of them are just funneling towards me. Take them out no problem, and then I have to worry about this guy because I need 3 damage to pierce his shield, and I only have 2. So here I'm like thinking, should I break it open? But I decide against it because, obviously, probably not a good thing to be swarmed by really powerful enemies. Not to mention the fact that I'm going to need to worry about gold. So now we're on to Deep Blues. Deep Blues is very difficult when you're playing as Monk, because you need to line up all the bad guys to make sure that you have a way to get out. So I'm trying to make sure that I have a little route of escape and I don't get surrounded by gold. If you guys haven't checked it out, the last song I covered as of the release of this video is the Deep Blues theme. So if you like this song, I would recommend going and checking out my channel and watching that video. So there you see I can just get out from there. I lined them all up so that they didn't end up blocking my exit. I got the flawless victory, and I ended up taking that spell chest, which gave me an enchant weapon, but I didn't want to risk it since titanium was already so good, so I didn't bother taking it. Here, I think I take the Ring of Luck because that's the only thing that's really any good, which will give me better items because I don't want a dagger because I've already got a nice bow. More bombs is always helpful. And here, I'm just trying to funnel them towards me. I take out the guy who can go through a wall, and then I just let them funnel towards me, no big deal. There's a little crate over there that I blow up. End up getting a map, which is very helpful as Monk, because now you can see exactly where you need to go. So, like I was talking about map layouts, the thing about Zone 3 is a little different, because it's sort of like a wide open area as opposed to sort of corridors. It's very wide open, but generally the same thing still applies. It's just instead of having hallways, you have to worry about wide open spaces, which is a little annoying. But there's still those main 3 directions that you can kind of see there. There's, like, on this spawn I can go left, right, and up, and you can see that up is the dead end, since right down there on the right is where the boss came from. And then Shopkeeper's sort of in the middle. The Shopkeeper spawns are kind of weird here, but I would argue that it's off to the left side, even though they're kind of right next to each other. You get the idea. And then I just clear out this area before I go to the exit. And I'm like this goblin, I'm like, screw you, I don't need to deal with you. And there's really no good items, so I just go for it. Now, a lot of people would say, like, oh, you should have taken the pack so that you can carry more items. Personally, I'm not a fan of the pack unless you're if you're doing a low risk sort of just for fun run. Packs are good, but honestly, having 2 items and having to alternate buttons, it kind of confuses me, and I just prefer to stick with the 1 item so I don't have to worry about switching. As you may notice that I changed a couple settings. Like, you'll see that my buttons are a little bit different, and all the enemies have hearts above their head, so I can see, like, okay, this is how much damage I'm doing, and I know exactly how much damage I'm going to do. Because it used to be where I would make it so that I wouldn't see the hearts of an enemy until I started attacking it, but I preferred seeing all their hearts all the time, so I know exactly if I can kill them or not. But yeah, not touching gold is a lot harder than you would think it would be. And there I just took my first hit in a long time just because I accidentally hit the wrong button like a stupid. But seriously, it is really hard to not touch gold. It doesn't seem that hard, but it really is. Monk is absolutely just brutal. And this dragon I can take care of no problem because I'm doing tons of damage. And I just funnel them out, take them out no problem, and now I just need to get around because there's a lot of gold blocking my way, so I need to go around the long way. Take out all the enemies coming towards me, and go for it. Now there was a barrel there that I just didn't blow up because I didn't want to risk it because I'm already pretty decked out. So here we're on death metal. I think I take a couple hits here because I just didn't think. Like, I get a little trapped here, but I end up taking them out anyway. And now I need to worry about death metal, and I accidentally hit a shield there, and I start freaking out, and I'm like, oh geez, so I lost my multiplier. Which obviously really doesn't matter, because since I'm playing as Monk, coins don't matter, obviously. So I did lose my multiplier, and I didn't get that flawless victory, but in the end, it was better that I stood still and sort of figured out what was going on. Now here's the thing with Zone 4. This is probably the most confusing zone because obviously you don't have those basic 3 paths anymore. Zone 4 is sort of made up of a bunch of rooms. And basically from what I found is from where you spawn, the shop will be either, like, assuming that you spawn it, like, let's say the map is a square. Oh, right here, I want to talk about this first. I kill this guy because he drops the gluttony charm, which makes it so that when you overeat, it gives you the extra hearts anyway. So, like, that chicken heals 3 hearts and I'm only losing 1, but since I used the gluttony charm, it gave me those extra 2 hearts anyway, which is extremely helpful. So, back to what Zone 4 looks like. Zone 4 is always sort of a giant square. And from what I've found, is, let's say I spawn in the top right of the square. That means directly diagonally across from where I spawn is where the exit will be, and either directly across or straight down from me will be the shop. So the exit is always diagonal, and the shop is always directly either to the farthest end of left, up, down, right. You know what I mean. Not diagonal. Now, probably the most dangerous enemies for Monk are those Warlocks, because if they teleport you, the thing is, if they're standing on top of gold, they'll teleport the gold that's underneath them to where you used to be standing. But it's still kind of a little sketchy when you're shooting one that's surrounded by gold and there's a lot of enemies, because then you gotta worry, you gotta sort of think about, okay, I'm gonna be standing there. I also picked up those Boots of Damage a while ago, I believe, which are giving me 3 damage, which is always important, is getting a lot of damage so you can take things out quickly. And I took out the coffin, and I just went for it. So right here, you can see that the shop spawned directly above me, which is kind of weird because that doesn't normally happen. But you can see that on the map, as if you can see where I'm pointing, but in the bottom right of the screen, you can see the mini-map, and since I have the map item, I'm allowed to see the whole map, and you can see that I'm the little blue dot, and the little room at the top left is where I'm going for, because that's almost always where the exit is. So here, I'm kind of thinking, like, what's the best way to get up there to the top left? Because I need to... Obviously, I go in the secret room, but then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to go in here, but am I going to end up getting surrounded if I have to, like, break a wall? So you can see up there in the top left, I was correct, that's where the boss room is, and I accidentally got hit by that wall peg, and that accidentally released all the bats. Or, no, that didn't release all the bats. What released all the bats was that stupid sentry. Now this is probably where I get the most cornered and I start taking a bunch of damage, but I'm able to get out of there. That was like the scariest moment for me. I was like freaking out. But I'm like, okay, we're fine. Don't need to worry about it. And now I just wait for all these enemies to funnel towards me, take out the Warlock, make sure he's not surrounded by gold, and then take out the Ogre. Now I let this Goblin Bomber dude come through so he can blow up some of the gold for me, and what I do here, I believe, is I use a couple of my bombs, since I've got so many of them, to just clear out the area so that I don't accidentally step on gold. And I take out this guy, wait for him to come into range, I believe, take him out. Now I gotta worry about this guy. He hits me, but I'm like, okay, it's no big deal because I've got so many hearts. And I take him out, and then I'm on the last level. And I eat that chicken. So now I'm pretty much set. All I need to do is not step on gold, and I'm pretty sure at this point, like, okay, I got it. I'm fine as long as I don't step on gold. And I didn't. Yeah. So, just going ahead, moving along, same thing. I'm trying to avoid getting in the aggro range of these enemies because I'm like, if I don't need to fight them, I don't want them knowing I'm here so that they, you know, come after me. And then there's a chest that spawns there, but I don't think I ever go for it because I'm like, I'm not going to bother wasting time because I've already got a great weapon. And then this Warlock is giving me a lot of problems. I'm like, I don't want to shoot him because he's surrounded by enemies. So I wait for him to get nice and close, and then I use his position to my advantage and take out the guy who's below him. And now this monkey is like, okay, he's confused, and now he's still confused. So I'm like, screw you, I don't have time for you. And I just kill him, right on the pad. That's very annoying, is when enemies end up getting confused and you have to wait for them. We got a pixie friend here who just heals me no problem, and I just lose my multiplier because I still don't have any obsidian weapons, and it doesn't matter. And I get rid of this guy because I want to make sure I always have a route of escape, and I don't want him being there in case I need to make a quick dash back to the original room that I came from. And here you can see the boss room. I get Mr. Pixie to come heal me, take out the monkey, and I just funnel these guys out here. That's the most important thing, is making sure you take them on as little at a time as possible. And I tried digging there, but I was like, don't need to. Well, not that I don't need to, but I can't. I tried digging there and I'm like, oh, okay, I can't dig because I'm shrunk, but I'm just like, whatever, I'll go in this way. And I ended up getting hit because I didn't dig through, but I'm like, whatever, because I'm already on the last level. So I'm worried about this Warlock because I'm like, oh no, he was about to teleport me into a bad spot. So I just lure him onto the trap, and I want to worry about this black bat, and I take him out, and then I'm on to the next level. No problem. And luckily I got Coral Riff as my last boss because he's super easy. So I'm like, okay, I got it. At this point, I'm just like, okay, I know we're good. So when you're fighting Coral Riff, it's very important to move out of the way, because if you end up getting the drums and the keyboards at the same time, they will get in your way and they'll like trap you. You'll be surrounded and you won't be able to move. So it's very important that after you kill a set of arms, you move to another area where you're not going to get hit. Then all I have left is the bass head, and I take him out no problem since I've got plenty of range. I just take him out with my bow, and boom, he's done. And I will leisurely walk off to the exit like boss, and that's it. That is the Monk achievement, all zones mode, and I guess that'll be the end of this episode. In the next episode, we're gonna go ahead and take on another character. I'm not sure what though. Anyways, hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And hopefully, I won't be gone for a long time, because I do apologize that this episode took a very long time to make because I had to practice a lot. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Alright, bye!